Is it true that Obi-Wan knew since Attack of the Clones his former apprentice married Padme Amidala? Well, today we're going to get to the bottom of this mystery and explore how Obi-Wan might have known more than you would have thought, and also why Anakin was always jealous of him.
He's holding me back!
The Phantom Menace. So after Anakin says this line to Padme in The Phantom Menace,
"Are you an angel?"
it is pretty obvious that he already was attracted to her even as a younger child. And keep in mind, Anakin was 9 here, Padme was 14, meaning they have a 5-year age gap. And then after Padme looked at his pod racer and comforted him when he was cold, he probably then understood that not only was she beautiful, but also was a kind person too. Now, Anakin wasn't really talking to Obi-Wan too much from what we see in The Phantom Menace, but he probably could tell from the young boy asking about her and sharing looks with her during the Freedom Day celebrations on Naboo. It would stand for reason that when Anakin was young, he probably missed Padme and would often ask Obi-Wan about her, and when they could see them again. However, his duties as a Jedi Padawan and hers as the temporary Queen of Naboo led to them not having the ability to grow up with each other during this time. I'd say that Obi-Wan knew about young Anakin's feelings for Padme and probably kept that in the back of his mind for some time. Attack of the Clones. Moving on to Attack of the Clones, so Anakin would be 19 here and Padme is 24. This is the first time we verbally hear Obi-Wan confront Anakin about his attachment to Padme. So even though I plan to explore every time Obi-Wan mentions Padme to Anakin, Anakin's jealousy of Obi-Wan, and how long Obi-Wan specifically knew they were married for, we do technically have an answer for the main question of this video, which is that in Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan knew they had a romance going on, and that Anakin has an attachment to her, and if we go back even further, we could say that he knew Annie liked her as a 9-year-old in Attack of the Clones. Obi-Wan tells Anakin to relax when he's sweating on the way to Padme's room. Later, while protecting the senator at night, Anakin says being with her again after 10 years is intoxicating. Obi-Wan reminds Anakin that he's made a commitment to the Jedi Order, one which is not easily broken, which does appear to be a reminder that a relationship with Padme would never work. I wonder if he knew what he was talking about. Probably not. Obi-Wan also isn't enthusiastic about letting Anakin protect Padme on Naboo, as he fears Anakin will be controlled and haunted by his desires. He also didn't think he was prepared for a solo mission by himself. At the end of this same movie, Padme falls off of a LAAT clone gunship, and Anakin demands for the ship to be lowered to rescue her. However, Obi-Wan interjects that Dooku is their main priority and that they must listen to him. This is the threat that Obi-Wan gives him if he turns back for Padme.
You will be expelled from the Jedi Order!
This shows that Kenobi knows Anakin has an attachment to her and has very strong feelings for Padme as well. Also, after the duel between Dooku and the 3 Jedi, Padme runs up to Anakin right in front of Yoda and Obi-Wan and kisses him. Obi-Wan turns around but doesn't do anything. That's because he is in support of their relationship, as it makes Anakin truly happy. While their marriage was kept secret, it is true that while Obi-Wan returned to Coruscant to discuss the Separatist conflict with the other Jedi, Anakin escorted Padme back to Naboo, which is where they got married. I think Obi-Wan might have suspected this as a bad idea as well, but lets him do it anyway. The Clone Wars. Moving into the Clone Wars, even though we see Anakin and Padme interacting around Obi-Wan in a flirtatious way at times, he never really comments on it too much. However, Obi-Wan did confront Anakin in his quarters in the Season 6 episode, The Rise of Clovis, due to his clouded judgment towards Clovis, which apparently Yoda was worried about too, which means Yoda most likely knows there is something going on between Anakin and Padme. Anakin tells Obi-Wan that he is merely friends with Queen Amidala and is concerned for her judgment on Clovis, as they were formerly in a relationship together. Obi-Wan asks if it is her judgment that is clouded or his, Anakin's, but Anakin denies this. Obi-Wan simply reminds him to stay loyal to the Jedi Code. In the Clone Wars Season 7 episode A Distant Echo, Rex is guarding the door for Anakin as he talks to a hologram of his wife Padme, but as Obi-Wan is about to barge through, Anakin steps back out, throwing Rex his helmet back, going under the cover that he was double checking the armor of Rex, and walks off with Rex. Then Obi-Wan tells him,
"I hope you at least told Padme I said hello,"
revealing that he knew Anakin has been talking to her and basically confirming he doesn't mean their relationship any harm. Revenge of the Sith. So in this one, Anakin is 22 and Padme is now 27. While in the finished version of Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan pays a visit to Padme while on his search for Vader, which already shows that he knows they are close, and after Padme accuses Obi-Wan of wanting to kill him and then refusing to tell him where he went, Obi-Wan says,
"Anakin is the father, isn't he?"
So it turns out it is impossible to hide being pregnant, other than maybe the idea that Padme had been eating too many foot-long cookies at Subway. However, there does actually exist a deleted scene of Obi-Wan talking to Padme about Anakin earlier in the movie before going to Utapau. So most likely right before the scene of Anakin's apology to Obi-Wan and their subsequent farewell at the docks for the Open Circle fleet, Obi-Wan would talk to Padme about his concern for how Anakin was handling the burden of spying on the Chancellor, someone who Skywalker greatly respected. One of the lines that Obi-Wan says is this: "I am not blind, Padme, though I have tried to be for Anakin's sake, and for yours. Anakin has loved you since the day you met in that horrible junk shop on Tatooine. He's never even tried to hide it, though we do not speak of it. We pretend that I don't know. And I was happy too, because it made him happy. You made him happy when nothing else ever truly could." This scene is referenced in the final movie when Padme says Obi-Wan stopped by to talk about you, that being Anakin. Also, this scene shows that Obi-Wan has known since episode 1 and that he truly was willing to let it slide to make Anakin happy. I would argue this is a flawed, as it logically would always end up in tragedy due to Anakin's power, emotions, and the Jedi Code being twisted and bent beyond repair with the inclusion of such relationships. Also in Revenge of the Sith, in the early drafts, Lucas had a plot line where Anakin turned to the dark side because he thought Padme had cheated on him with Obi-Wan, and that's why he's so paranoid and jealous here of Obi-Wan. Let me know in the comments which version you prefer, him turning because he fears Padme's death, or him turning because he is distrustful of her going behind his back, or maybe even a combination of both. But anyway, that's it for this video. You can subscribe if you want to. Also consider checking out the merch store as we are nearing the last month of this summer drop, so you don't want to miss any of those items as there are some cool things on there. Also leave a comment letting me know any questions you had about this video or any video suggestions as well, and let me know how your week has been going. Also, I upload normal videos at Friday, 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also shorts every single day. But yeah, see ya.